Everybody needs water.
There definitely needs to be a plan.
And all eyes are on our water.
It's all hands on deck.
Tonight, how the Coastal Bend's water crisis remains front and center.
We're fully committed to making sure the Corpus Christi residents are going to have the water they need.
Chris 6 News starts now. Thank you for joining us, everyone. I'm Brian Hoffman in for Clara tonight. So we begin with some major developments in our years-long water crisis. We now have a potential timeline on when a level 1 water emergency could be declared. State Representative Denise Villalobos tells Chris 6 News that in a worst-case scenario, a level 1 water emergency would be declared on May 9th. In a medium-case scenario, that date would be pushed back to September 12th. Best-case scenario would be November of this year. Villalobos is also raising concerns with whether the city's current plan to reduce water use is strong enough, especially with level 1 water emergency possibly just months away. The city's drought contingency plan currently relies on surcharges, especially fines, to push residents and businesses to cut back on their water use. Villalobos says that's not enough.
Surcharges is not a way to implement something, especially if you're serious about something.
We did ask the city for a response, I should say, to Representative Villalobos' comments. We have presented them tonight too. Regarding her legislative ideas, the city spokesperson said that they have not been presented with any legislative proposals from Villalobos. We also asked about the 3 timeline scenarios for entering a level 1 water emergency. Specifically, the representatives claim that the city has primarily presented a, quote, best case scenario to the public. The city says they began developing additional scenario models in late February in preparation for a public discussion at next week's City Council. You can read the city's entire response on our website. That's christv.com. Well, right now, she is working on multiple pieces of legislation related to water. She says that the goal is to create a state-managed and regionalized water infrastructure, or, as she explained, an agency or system that's similar to TxDOT.
So how we have like the interstate, right? That's state-owned. And then you have city roads and county roads. So we need more regionalized, state-owned, their distribution systems or source water systems.
Other goals with that legislation is to lessen the impact of local elections with rotating leadership every 2 years, as well as procedures for future water emergencies. Now, here's the catch, though. Villalobos says that any legislation would be for the 2027 session, which won't help our current water timeline. So the water crisis in Corpus Christi now headed to Austin for a formal state hearing. The Texas House Natural Resources Committee will hold an interim hearing on Coastal Bend water, likely in late April, early May. The goal is to present the full picture of the region's water crisis to lawmakers from across the state who may or may not be familiar with what's happening here.
We're fully committed to making sure the Corpus Christi residents are going to have the water they need to live their lives like the rest of the people in the state of Texas.
So remember that? That's part of what Governor Abbott had to say Tuesday about Corpus Christi's water crisis. At the time, he was criticizing the way that city leaders have handled our water crisis. He also said maybe it was time for the state to intervene. It's not the first time the governor has said that, though. Listen to what he told Chris 6 News back in October of 2022.
And we are working with Nueces County as well as the city of Corpus Christi to make sure that they will get together and agree on a desalinization plan. If not, then the state of Texas will do it for them. But the state of Texas, working with the Texas Water Development Board, will make sure that the greater Corpus Christi area is going to have the water that it needs in order to be able to double its population.
Yeah, that was years ago, like we said. So we did reach out to the governor's office and ask for information on how he has followed on that comment that he made over 3 years ago to work with the city on desal. His press secretary says, in part, the state has committed millions of dollars for groundwater wells and upgrades to the Mary Roads pipeline. It also mentions the Texas Water Development Board has committed to funding the Inner Harbor desal plant. All of that is information we've already reported on several weeks ago. So When we're talking about water, right, it is Thursday, and that means it's time for a look at our drought forecast. We got to bring in my man and fellow morning show meteorologist, Mr. Stephen Jones. How you doing, Stephen?
Well, thank you very much, Brian. You know, nice to be on the evening shows for a change. Just changing it up for this week, but the drought monitor not changing it up too much this week, unfortunately. A lot of those conditions really persisting from what we saw on last week's update. Here is a look at last week's update, and you can see that exceptional drought really well into areas of our watershed, also just to the southwest of Corpus Christi, but the entire coastal bend at least under that severe drought currently. And as we go into this week's update, you can notice not really too many changes of the shades across the coastal bend. We didn't see any changes here in the coastal bend or for our watershed, so still that weekend rain we had wasn't quite enough to get that drought dented there, but hopefully we still start to see a little bit more as we're heading through the rest of March and into April, of course, also. When we're looking at those lake levels, unfortunately they're following that similar trend. The one silver lining, I will say I'm a silver lining kind of guy, some of these updates are the same as where they were last week, but overall compared to a month ago, Lake Corpus Christi still falling from 10.8% to 9.8%, and that combined capacity down from 9.3 to 8.7%. We'll start to see more of those rain chances coming up, but I'll have a look at what you can expect for the rest of spring break just ahead.
Turning right over to Kingsville now, the recall election for 3 Kingsville city commissioners is now off. The 13th Court of Appeals has reversed the 105th District Court order that would have forced a vote to remove Commissioners Norma Nelda Alvarez, Hector M. Hinojosa, and Leo Alarcon from office. The appeals court says that the woman who started the recall effort, that's Selena Tejerina, missed the city charter's 30-day filing deadline by 1 day. Now, we did speak with Tejerina about the court's ruling.
I'm really disappointed in the ruling. However, I believe that it definitely falls on the inaccurate information that I was given by City of Kingsville staff when I filed the recall petition. However, people are going to be the first to know that I am going to file a new recall petition.
Now, we did also reach out to the 3 commissioners and their attorney, Gilberto Hinojosa, who represents the city. We've not heard back from them, though. So a Portland woman who survived being shot in the head more than a decade ago won a major civil verdict against her attacker. Court records show that a San Patricio County jury awarded nearly $200 million to Christine Chapa. The verdict came against David Strickland, his father, and their pharmacy. It was back in 2012. Strickland kidnapped Chapa and her girlfriend, Mary Olguin, at the park before they were sexually assaulted and shot in the head. Sadly, Olguin died, and Strickland was convicted of murder in 2016 and is serving life in prison. We turn to developing news out of Michigan after a car was smashed into a Jewish synagogue. The FBI called it an active shooter situation. The preschoolers that were at the synagogue at that time were safely evacuated. Now, officials say the suspect crashed through the doors, exchanged gunfire with security, and the car caught fire. They confirmed the suspect is now dead. Details are still limited at this time, but officials found explosives in the back of the car. Continuing coverage on the war with Iran. Iran's Revolutionary Guard hit a U.S.-owned tanker off Iraq's coast, killing at least 1 crew member. It's the latest strike against targeting official oil infrastructure. They're also demanding answers about a strike on Iran elementary schools that killed at least 170 people, mostly children. Just hours earlier, Iran's new supreme leader vowed to keep the vital Strait of Hormuz closed, driving prices even higher. You know, those gas prices are up for the 12th straight day. According to AAA, regular now averages $3.60 a gallon. That's over 20% more than a month ago. The conflict with Iran is behind Brent crude oil topping $100 a barrel. Let's take a quick look at the averages, according to Gas Buddy, which haven't risen too much since yesterday, but compared to the jumps that I've seen since war began, it's looking pretty decent. National is $3.60, up by 1 cent since yesterday, 65 cents since the war began. Texas, $3.28, up by 2 cents since yesterday, 72 cents since the war began. Corpus Christi's average, $3.38, up by just a penny since yesterday, but a total of 78 cents since the war began.
The only thing I felt that I could do about it was to be his advocate.
An advocate for this young man and every neighbor that may be suffering. Coming up, the message behind a longtime tradition in the Coastal Bend. Coming up this week, you'll start to see a lot more people on the street corners with boots asking for money. But no, they are not just panhandling. And no, we're not talking about firefighters trying to get more money for uniforms. We're talking about the Fill the Boot campaign. And for the first time, it's going to stretch almost all across the Coastal Bend. Jennifer Maribal, she's with the MDA. Talk to me a little bit about where this money goes to that firefighters are collecting.
So the firefighters go out on the intersections and they collect for research, for summer camps, and for our MDA clinics. And not only that, but they are there raising awareness for the causes and for the neuromuscular diseases that MDA encompasses. It not only raises awareness, but it gives us hope for a cure. And we have over 20 different medications that were approved just in the past 2 to 3 years. So this money is definitely going to an incredible cause and saving lives.
So you are obviously not only a part of this organization, but it actually hits closer to home for you as well.
Jude was diagnosed right before he was 5 years old. First words to pop up were fatal neuromuscular disease. Football, running, getting married, everything was going to be harder for him, as it was harder for him to even walk. The only thing I felt that I could do about it was to be his advocate and fight my hardest for a cure for it. Luckily, once he got put on one of these drugs that was recently approved, cognitively he improved. It gave him a little bit more strength, and in my mind, it's prolonged the effects that it has as he is still walking. We have been partnered with the firefighters for over 70 years, and now we're on the fight with them against ALS because that has become more prevalent among firefighters. All of us are going to be going out there at the same time to cover all the way from Robstown to the island to Flower Bluff, so they will be out there joining in the fight. They're going to be at random corners, so usually they choose the busiest corners and they will be out there at intersections holding out that boot and in hopes of collecting money. Corpus Christi has collected over $940,000 in the past 10 years.
And folks, if you would like to help out MDA, you can always do so every Friday up until the 27th. You'll see firefighters on those street corners filling up the boot. And again, helping out MDA as well as my man here, Jude, who did an amazing job. If your cup runneth over, why not fill the boot?
Bird lovers are flocking to Choke Canyon State Park, but it's not for the water. I'm Melissa Trevino, and I'll show you why a special festival is drawing crowds from across the region.
Welcome back, folks. Well, today's weather didn't stop spring breakers from having some fun. We actually went out to Whitecap to check out those crowds. We caught up with a lot of out-of-towners who tell us they weren't going to let a little cold stop them from coming and having a good time.
It's pretty fun. Right now it's super cold, so I get why people aren't coming. But we have limited time during the spring break, so we're always trying to make it fun.
When we got here, we were like, oh guys, it's a little cold. Should we go somewhere else? And then we just stayed for a couple more hours. It got warmer.
Yeah, and the one thing that these spring breakers say they aren't a fan of, it's the seagulls. And personally, I have to agree. Ever since I was a kid, when I got dive bombed, let's just say, by a seagull, I have never looked at them the same way.
You know, the same thing actually did happen to my brother. I was a little too young to remember it, but we were at the beach and, yep, he got dropped on too as we were out there, and forever since traumatized. So I understand the feeling of not being too big of a fan of the seagulls out there, but hey, the cool weather, the sunshine, it's not looking like too bad of a weekend because it's not actually going to be as cool out there. I think it's looking just about perfect as we're heading into tomorrow. We're going to be chasing the 80-degree mark compared to the 70-degree mark or so as we went into our Thursday. Friday the 13th, though, going to be just a little bit warmer. Here's our live view from our USS Lexington cam. Thanks to First Community Bank, though. We're sitting at 72 degrees right now in Corpus Christi. Those winds much lighter than they were this morning, only at about 6 miles an hour right now out of the north. And earlier today we had much stronger gusts, upwards of 30 to 40 miles an hour. But currently those temperatures across the board in the 70s for most of us. 70 degrees on the money in Beeville. If you find yourself closer to the coast, Port Aransas coming in at 67 degrees, but a little bit further inland, San Diego reading 76 degrees. So a fair spread of those temperatures as we're heading through the 5 p.m. hour. But like I talked about, some of those peak wind gusts this morning, we definitely woke up to windy conditions here in Corpus Christi, getting as high as 44 miles an hour, and that was the same over into Portland and up towards Rockport. The highest number on the board, though, Alice coming in with a 45 mile per hour gust this morning. Luckily, as we're heading through the next few hours, much better in terms of those winds, only out of the northeast 5 to 10 miles an hour, which is what we're already dealing with. That sun goes down and the temperature is going to fall pretty quickly behind it. 62 degrees, what we're down to by 9 p.m. Already 58 on the board as we're heading in towards that 11 p.m. hour. But as we're heading through the next few days into the weekend, here's what we're watching for. It's going to be another chilly start tomorrow in those mid-40s for us, so definitely keep the jacket handy. Closer to the coast, more like those 50s in Port Aransas, but plenty of sunshine puts us back into the 80s for tomorrow afternoon and into Saturday, I should say. By the time we're heading into Sunday, our next cold front arrives into Sunday night, and another temperature roller coaster is in store for us as we're heading into Monday. But first, if you do find yourself at the beach tomorrow, just keep in mind, still going to be closer to that 70-degree mark for the daytime high. The wind's not too bad, though, returning out of the south about 5 to 15 miles an hour, and water temperature not too bad out there, just dealing with some of the mid-70s as you're entering the water. But as we're waking up tomorrow morning, like I talked about, more of those mid-40s going to be on the board, maybe just about 50 degrees on the money here in Corpus Christi. But as we're heading into tomorrow afternoon, once again, we are going to be on the warm-up. We'll see those 70s and 80s return for some of our daytime highs, but you can notice not even a cloud in the sky, going to be that wall-to-wall sunshine once again. As we're heading through the next couple of days, 83 degrees is what we're going to be seeing by Saturday, and then into Sunday for your weekend, even chasing those 90s for some of our daytime highs. About 91 is my forecast for Corpus Christi, but then we have that cold front working by Sunday night, and like we talked about, that next temperature roller coaster is going to make its way known. By Sunday, we're in the 90s, but by Monday, we're down into the 60s, and by Monday night, once again into the 40s. So what we saw with this cold front that just passed through, we're going to be seeing it once again as we're heading into next week. You can see those 90s by Sunday, some chilly mornings in store as we're kicking off next week. Still cool by St. Patrick's Day, coming in at 69 degrees, but we warm back up heading into Thursday. That's where we should be back into the 80s with overnight lows falling into the 60s.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter at Choke Canyon State Park, where Saturday's Choke Canyon Birdfest is turning the park into a bird watcher's paradise. There's going to be a bird festival this weekend. Did you know about that?
Had no idea.
I met Bill Wright and his wife at Choke Canyon State Park. They're spending 10 days here, hoping to see wildlife they've only read about before.
I think it's kind of neat. I saw my first green jay, which I've never known that they existed, taking pictures of all kinds of birds that I've never seen before, so I'm kind of interested.
The Missouri couple says they're not letting our current drought stop them from enjoying what the park has to offer.
You know, if you can't swim in a lake or go fishing in a lake, I'm sure there's a lot of good hiking trails and fresh land that hasn't been seen for a while.
Caitlin Noel is a Choke Canyon State Park office manager. She tells me when she started 5 years ago, the lake was about 32% full. Now it's at 8%. That's why they hope Saturday's Bird Festival will show people there's still a reason to visit.
People only think about us having no water and not being able to put a boat in, but you're still able to fish off the bank. We try to have monthly events.
At the Bird Fest, you'll be able to get an up-close look at the birds and learn all you can through educational booths and guest speakers.
People come from all over just to see green jays that we have year-round. So focusing one big event for our park to highlight that is very important.
With spring break underway, the park says reservations are already full. Organizers say the festival isn't just about spotting birds. It's about connecting with nature and discovering the wildlife that makes this region special. At Choke Canyon State Park, I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter, Crest 6 News.
So Buc-ee's is facing a pretty tough grade from the Better Business Bureau. The details right after this. All right, folks, if you're from Texas, and even if you're a transplant like myself, you know Buc-ee's is a crowd favorite. But turns out not all of the stores are in tip-top shape. 38 of them got an F rating from the Better Business Bureau. The BBB says the grades are based on many factors, including complaint history and how disputes are actually handled. Those stores are in Texas, Alabama, and in Georgia. That's blasphemy. All right, when this came up in the newsroom, everybody booed. And I got to ask, Stephen, real quick, what is your favorite items from Buc-ee's? Mine are the beaver nuggets.
I have to go with just a good brisket sandwich. You know, that's always a go-to. And the weather looking pretty nice for some of those brisket sandwiches if you're doing some traveling, because we don't have nearly as much rain this weekend, which I know we do still desperately need. But other than that, looking like a great weekend for spring break. Plenty of sunshine, 83 degrees by Saturday, and even Sunday into those 90s. So a little bit toasty out there by Sunday.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, sir. Really do appreciate it. We'll be back with even more news from your neighborhood in just a little bit. But until then, if we don't see you, I'm Brian, this is Steven, and you are awesome.